Hi, Cancer, Sun and Cancer Rising. Welcome to your May 2017 Astro Update. It's Rena here. So, Cancer, what are the astrological transits that are impacting you in May? Well, Mercury goes direct on May 3rd in Aries, and that is your 10th house of career. So perhaps back in April, around the 9th, when Mercury went retrograde, you may have noticed, and maybe not actually on the 9th, because it retrograded in the sign of Taurus, which is your 11th house. Maybe it was a little bit after that. Maybe it was towards the end of the month. You may have noticed that things were kind of not working out the way you wanted to in terms of communication regarding career matters. If you were looking for a new position, you may have been interviewing with people and not heard back from them. You may have sent in forms and had some kind of delay. Things should start to improve starting at the beginning of May. And on the 16th, Taurus goes back into your 11th house of hopes and wishes. And this is a great time to really think about those things that you want to manifest. You know, and it's funny because since it retrograded in this house, you may have kind of had doubts about your choice of career. You may have kind of thought about, you know, whether or not your career is something that really reflects your passions in life and what really like gets you going. And so hopefully this stuff is starting to work itself out and you're starting to gain clarity on these issues, because the 11th house is supposed to be the luckiest house. And with Mercury going into this sector, you can really meditate upon these things that you want to accomplish. This is the house of goals. It's also the house of friendships. And maybe there was some kind of communication breakdown with friends or a group that you belong to. Maybe you felt a little bit alienated from them for some reason, or maybe it had something to do with your work matters. You were so busy that you couldn't, or preoccupied with, you know, all kinds of complications with your career that you had to put it in, to the side. And now you're going to gain clarity and things will be kind of smoothing themselves over. Venus is in your 10th house all month. So this is great for money. This is great for charisma, for having that special something that reflects well on you when it comes to dealing with authority figures and being seen as somebody who knows their stuff and who is successful. Venus brings money with her, so that could be in the mix as well. Mars all month is in Gemini. Gemini is the sign before you. So Mars is going to be in your 12th house. This is not a very ideal coupling of sign and planet in a particular house, okay? Because if you know anything about the sign of Gemini, you know that it's very talkative, you know, thinks a lot, moves a lot, and Mars is a planet that likes to move. So Mars in Gemini is a very kind of a hyperactive placement, but it's in the 12th house, which is a psychological house. So it doesn't have a lot of room to physically move. It's all about your psyche. It's all about your soul, your past lives, all of that stuff, your psychological issues. So it's more of an internal thing. It's a water house. Pisces is a water sign. So it's about kind of having to deal with action in a place that's about reflection and rest. So what can you do to kind of expend energy that, you know, maybe on the mental level coupled with the physical level in a house that is really not compatible for that. I would say it's a great time to begin a meditative practice, especially since there's going to be a new moon in this sector on May 25th, because meditation can still the mind. And in addition to that, you can do hatha yoga, which is those asanas or positions that we know so well, like the lotus position, downward facing dog. You can do something along those lines, and you can start that type of practice as well, because that involves physical movement. And actually, hatha yoga, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but hatha yoga was designed to be a precursor, to doing sitting meditation. In other words, it helps to prepare for that. So it wasn't just to give you, toned quads. It was designed to prepare people to still their minds so they could actually sit still in meditation. Okay, so it's always good. I mean, yeah, this is my opinion, but I always seek out yoga classes that seem spiritual, that actually seem like they are connected to some kind of belief system, that they're not just done because it makes you feel good. But, we're all different. And if you resonate more with what I call yuppie yoga, go for it. But I always find that it's a deeper level, and that I always remember the fact of I'm doing it for this reason, not for the body per se, or only for the body, but also for the consciousness, the soul. So speaking of Mars and Gemini, there's going to be a very auspicious, or let's just say a nice angle with Jupiter in Libra. And Jupiter is in retrograde until June, but it still can bring us some of those wonderful things that we associate with Jupiter, like luck and expansion. Now, in your case, Jupiter is going through your fourth house of home and family, and this is the house that you rule. So this is like extra special for you. But on the 12th and 13th of the month, Mars and Jupiter are forming a trine, an exact trine. So we're looking at Mars in the 12th and Jupiter in the 4th. And so anything that you want to begin that involves issues surrounding family and maybe repressed memories, maybe you were keeping something within you and you weren't acknowledging it. This can be a great time for healing that. It's very wonderful, but you can even take steps to do something. Maybe you can get an energy healing treatment or something that kind of removes blockages, like Reiki, shamanic healing. And I think I kind of skipped over the full moon, and I shouldn't have done that because that's actually earlier in the month. That's on May 10th, and that is in your sister water sign of Scorpio. This is going to be in your 5th house of romance, Cancer. So for people who are looking for romance, it could be right under your nose, and you just discover that this person that maybe you've just been talking to platonically is the real deal, is somebody that you should be romantically involved in. Maybe you fall in love just on a dime. It could be the culmination of a creative project. It could be a time of conceiving a child. 5th house is about that as well. So, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great month. Bye.